Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Jim Hodges Dog Training. Cicero with me today. Cicero is a 20-month-old giant Schnauzer, came in for our residency program. Really good boy. Still a puppy, I believe. I believe they're puppies until they get to be a couple of years or more, depending on the breed maturity. But he's been real good. He listens to our commands. We have put ourselves as the leader. One of the things I tell people is when we deal with any kind of behavior or obedience, it's important that when we ask him to do something, we know he's going to do it, or we're prepared to have him do it at that point in time. So we do that through motivation. Motivation is praise. Praise is a combination of words, good boy, is pet, is treat, is toy, it's our emotion, trying to bond with him. It's also consequence. Consequence could be, it'll be no, a tap of the leash, a tap on the shoulder, grabbing him up underneath the scruff, not trying to hurt him or anything, just trying to redirect him. And maybe even our tone of voice. Not our volume, but our tone, our inflection. No, okay? Every time we do provide a consequence, we want to make sure we praise him once he gets it completed. We never provide a consequence to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, hurt him, or have him fear us. We're not going to get anywhere that way. We want him to want to work with us. So that's why we have to appeal to his emotions, okay? So we're going to go through obedience right now, and we're going to start working with him. Hopefully he'll do everything right. If he does, I'm going to praise him. If he doesn't, I'm going to provide that little bit of consequence, which is a tap on the leash. Okay? You ready, buddy? Let's go. Good boy. I love the way he looked at me. Let's go is our walking on the leash command. Now, Cicero is really good about walking on the leash now, but in the beginning, he used to pull on the leash. When he pulls on the leash, and he would walk fine and start to pull. What I tell people is when they start to pull, as soon as he moves out away from me, because in initial beginnings of the let's go command, I want him beside me. I don't want him walking out there. One day he can walk out there, okay, as long as he doesn't pull us on the leash. But right now we want him right beside us. And when he gets out there 2 or 3 feet and we try to redirect him back, he doesn't understand. The biggest time to teach is in the moment. So as soon as he started to walk away from me, I would tap the leash just like that. No, let's go. Good boy. Okay, let's go. The other most important thing is when he is doing it right, attaboy, good boy. Let's go. It's to show him in the act while he's doing it that it pleases us, okay? That's it. I'm going to change directions. I want him to focus on me. Good boy. That's really good. The next command, sit. Hand signals like this for sit. Attaboy. Ask him to sit. He needs to sit. He needs to hold the sit till I release him. Again, I don't like to keep dogs, big bone dogs especially, in a sit for a great deal of time. I worry about their hips and their bone structure and their rear end. But I do want him to sit until I release him. If he started to get up out of the sit, okay, or if he didn't sit, I'm the dog trainer. If it happened once, I'm going to be ready the next time. I'm going to go, no, just a little tap, sit, and then good boy. And then I'm going to practice it again. Break, sit, good boy. I love the way he watches me. For you guys out there, Cicero hadn't always watched that well when we got him, and we used treats to get him to focus. It took a lot of work. He was always used to looking at the treat. And we started teaching him that we weren't going to release him from the command or give him a treat until he looked at me. See how he's following it? You're going to see that in just a second, that he's going to have to look at me to get it, okay? Now, when do I give treats? When I want to, and he does it right the first time. We don't give treats every time. That's the reason we do words, touch, treat, toy, emotion, to help him understand that any of those hopefully will have the same meaning in his brain as just a treat. Let's go. So again, sit. Good boy. And I should be able to walk around. We had a session with his dad yesterday, and Cicero kept popping up when Dad walked off. That tells us that's something we need to work on. So we're here, we start to walk off. If he gets up, sit, and we come right back out. He needs to know to hold that sit. And when he's holding that sit, good boy. That's a good boy. Now the next thing, break. Attaboy. Do you notice how I stepped away and told him break? Now watch his head come up. Okay. Cicero. Now, that was a little bit slow that time. Break. We'll do it again. But he had looked at me right before I had pulled it out. We're going to do it again. Break. Attaboy. I don't know if you could tell, he looked up then. Now, when I said break and step back, I did not tell him to COME. He did not have to come and sit or do any command. The biggest part about break, is to teach him to come to us. We want to become the center of his universe. Let's go. All right, so we know the hand signal for sit. We know what to do if he doesn't do it. Sit. Good. Now we're down. Good boy. Down is down. We ask him to lay down. He needs to stay down, and he needs to go down. If he didn't do it, we would tap the leash towards the ground and tell him, no, when we tap the leash, down. And he needs to hold that until we release him. We could put a stay command on right now, stay, like that, and then he could smell the ground, he could roll on the side, he could chew a elk antler or something like that. He's fine as long as he lays down. But if we just tell him down by itself, he needs to be waiting for us to give him the next command. My stay typically means he's going to be there for at least a couple of minutes, but quite honestly, we put him in a down stay 15, 30, 45 minutes a day, maybe once or twice a day, and we go about our business. Other dogs are around. He needs to know that down stay means just that. Stay there, relax into that down, but you're going to be there, okay? And that we're going to watch over and make sure nothing happens. Okay, here we go. Break. Attaboy. Let's go. So you see, I didn't have any treat. I petted him, and when I broke him, what did he do? He came right back to me, okay? So that's the DOWN from the side. Sit. Now watch from behind. Down. Hand signal up. That's down from in front. Good boy. Same rules. If he doesn't go down, it's a tap. We step in. No, down. If he holds it, we're good. Let's just say we had him in the down and he got up and moved 2 or 3 feet. We would, in the beginning, we would get the leash and we would just take him back. No, 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 down. And then step right back out to where we were. Remember, the consequence is not designed to intimidate or dominate. It's designed to redirect and show him what we want to do. Okay, that's so important to realize. Okay, buddy, sit. Good boy. See how he's watching? Of course, he made a little bit of a storyteller break out of me in the beginning, but we got to get it back. Next thing is the place. Place is to get on his bed. He can see, watch that time. He can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what he does as long as he stays on the stay. He does this practically every evening with us when we relax. And when we're in the office during the day in between dogs or have another dog out, he can do this for 2 or 3 hours at a time. The hand signal is like that, and just like the sit and the down, he cannot leave this bed. If he does, we're going to pick up the leash because we're going to have him on a leash in the beginning. Maybe we'll go to the tab, maybe we'll just have a collar on him. But if he comes up, we're going to get him, no, 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 place, and then go right back to what we were doing. Okay, so important to realize it. Another thing with the place command, I believe when we tell him place, that gives him the freedom to do what he wants on the bed. I'm not going to ask him to down or sit. I'm not going to encourage him chewing on something he shouldn't be chewing or doing any bad behavior. That would be a no or an ant. But anything else is fine. We want him to relax and to enjoy it. If you've watched any of our videos, most dogs love place. It's a great place for them to react or relax and be able to see what else going on. Okay, buddy, let's go. So we're going to come back around, sit, good, let's go. I didn't have him quite the way I wanted him for the camera. Come on, buddy. Good boy, sit. Good, now the next command is the on leash recall or COME command. Watch what I do with my hands, watch what I do with the leash. We do it on leash in the beginning. This is the only time that we would provide a consequence for that command. Off leash, we would not, at least if we didn't have a leash. Okay, come. Good. See his eyes looking up? Attaboy. Right. He was to come and sit in front of me. Off leash, I don't care if he sits in front of you or not. On leash, I don't care if he sits, if that's what our owners don't want. But the one thing I'm going to do is when I use a treat and I use the hand signal, it's coming right here. And the reason it's coming right here is I want his focus. If I left a treat here, if I had to treat here, then what happens is if he comes here, he can be distracted with what's going on behind me or off to the side. But when I come here, I'm bringing him right here to my body. Now, when I go off leash, the same rule applies as far as wanting him here. As I said, I don't care if he sits or not. I'll let that be your judge. But typically what I'll do, and he has a fenced-in backyard, so we would be able to do this, I would not tell him to COME unless he was ready to come. So I'll sit there and go, hey buddy, look what I got. Could be a toy, could be a treat, could be just me. Okay? And he sees me and he wants to interact with me. What's he gonna do? He's gonna start to come. And when he starts to come and I know he's committed, that's when I'm gonna give him that command. What we're doing is subliminally imprinting that come with him being happy and him having the action of coming to us. Now, unfortunately, we have to do this 200, 300, 400 times. The worst thing we can do, and we've all done it, is ask our dog to come and they didn't come. Or we've asked them to come and we corrected them or provide some sort of punishment. That's not what we want to do. If we ask him to come and he comes, nothing else happens, okay? We praise him, we love him, we release him. If we had to put him up, we would actually, I'll demonstrate that here in just a second, okay? Cicero, hey, come. So you see, he came to me, see how he watched me? Attaboy, good boy, break. Okay, he came. Notice I did not say come until he saw me and had decided to come. If he looked at me, and there's a cat behind me over there, because I noticed he looked behind me right before he started to come. If he decided not to come to me, and I told him to come, I messed up that command. And then he understands there's a time he does not have to listen to me. Hope that makes sense, okay? So off leash, and then when he comes to me, you see how I petted him and loved him? We could take a minute or so and talk to him, maybe get a tug toy out and play with him or a toy, and then we can take, and what we're doing is we're breaking him off of the command so he doesn't think it's the come anymore. We're substituting something in to redirect. Then we can say, oh gosh, guy, I've got to go to work or I got to go somewhere. Then you can hook him on the leash. If you have to have him on a leash, if you can have him off leash, you tell him, let's go. You go inside. I would reward him to begin with when he goes inside. Maybe even give him a little toy or play with him for a second, and then you go on. Okay, buddy, let's go. So the next thing that we've got, let's go, is so important. He's going to understand to be with us when he needs to be with us. When I want to, if I'm in a crowded environment like a marketplace or a Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, and I want him real close, I'll give him what's called the heel command. The heel command is different than let's go. Let's go, he's got as much leash as we give him, okay? He cannot pull tight on the leash. See, as soon as the leash gets tight, he has to give back to me, okay? So if he was walking out and the leash got tight on let's go, he'll feel it, which is okay, and then respond to it. But the heel, we want to keep him in this box right here beside us. He's real good. It's great for close contact. But even in close contact, I hear people call me all the time where their dog acts aggressive towards other people or not aggressive but excited and dogs on their walks. Sidebar away from heel, but if I had him in the heel or let's go and I had a dog like that, I would make sure I was in between whoever's coming and not. If you don't have that problem, the heel is great in close quarters. Watch my hand signal, heel. So there's my heel. I'm going to turn around. When I come to a stop, he's going to sit. All right, come on, now heel. Good boy. Yes. And it doesn't matter if he sees something else. If he does it wrong, he's still got to do it. Heel. I think if you look at his head, you can see that over there is the kitty cat. Good. And then when we stop the heel, he's in a sit until I release him. So here we go again, heel. We're going to come back over here. And now we're going to turn. Come back around. So why did I do that? I wanted to show him that when I ask him to do something, it doesn't matter what's going on over here off camera. He's got to do it. I don't get mad. I look at it as a point in time to teach. Okay? Let's go. That was really good, boy. Now the next thing is Cicero is allowed up on the bed, I think. I know he has to get in cars. What we want to do is to teach him when it's okay to get up, we give him a command. And that command in my vocabulary is let's go. Of course, it could be anything. I think I'll give him a reward for that, okay? But that's hard to get up in that stump. But you ready? Okay, buddy, load up. Attaboy, and he looked at me. That's such a good boy. Good boy. Right. Okay, so he's a real good boy. One other thing about Cicero that's important, remember the come, that's so important. The pulling on the leash is important. Jumping on people. We never want our dogs to jump on people. We don't want them to jump on us, and we don't want them to jump on others. It's so important that when we start to teach this, that we have some treats to begin with, and we have a leash to begin with. We want him to understand, and any dog, that when somebody comes over, it's not their job. That person's not coming over to say hey to them. So typically when someone comes, we want to have them on a leash. We don't even want them to, if they get real excited, they don't even say hey right now. We may take them and go sit down and have them sit with us. We may put them on a place command, but what we want to do is before they meet that person is calm down. And then the reward for being calm is to me instead of the reward for being excited to me. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. He's a good boy. We just say what we mean what we say. What does that mean is don't give a command unless you know he's going to do it or you can make him do it. If he does mess up, like he did when he looked over there, you notice I went right back and did it a couple of times correct. It's so important. There's only one perfect being to ever walk this earth. It's certainly not us. We're going to make mistakes. But when we make mistakes, we take it as a learning for him. And we try to teach him so many different things in so many different environments and scenarios so it all becomes old hat and he knows how to behave with his mom or dad. Hope that helps. You know, my name is Jim Hodges, Jim Hodges Dog Training, JimHodgesDogTraining.com, Facebook, Jim Hodges Dog Training, even YouTube, which you're probably seeing this is Jim Hodges Dog Training. I thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know, and God bless.